The running was without shoe. We were running sometimes without the shoe, no facility for running. Sometimes even going to school, you hit a stone without knowing, and you have an injured leg the whole 2 weeks, and you want to run, you run also when we have the wound in the leg. Those are the challenges we had actually. You know, in a very humble family, you don't get a balanced diet at times. Maybe your meal is not stable enough to make you a very strong athlete. That is why when I grow up now and ran well and went to Europe, I got money and I stabilized my energy, eating well, and that is where the talent came. Yes.
More searching. The last championships winner, Abel Kirui of Kenya, is in the field.
Will it be a repeat for Abel Kirui at the front of the field this year?
The history actually make Kenya a powerhouse of running.
But the Kenyans, once again, in a line at the front.
It has come all the way from many previous talented athletes like Keno. And this thing has gradually ascended up. So now, it is genetically, it is in the legs of Kenyans.
Abel Kirui of Kenya, 2012 London Olympics marathon silver medalist.
And that is a history of marathon. Marathon comes through stages. When you are motivated by the previous talented athletes, and then when you pick up early enough, and you see the talent is there, you just improve and make it purified, and that will not disappoint you.
And he is the marathon champion, Abel Kirui. Today, one of the great marathons. He takes gold for Kenya.
Discipline to be a marathoner or a discipline in marathon, it entails a lot. It has to do with consistent training. It has to do with eating at the right time, eating the right food, not chunky food. Sleeping, enough sleep is also important. Drinking a lot of water, which is very good. Those are the part of the discipline, and not engaging with other activities other than focusing on where you are going. Because when the race is very close, especially me as to the double world champion, I was knowing that behind me or at my back are over 40 million Kenyans. The flag of Kenya is waiting for me there.
A hero's welcome greeted him on Tuesday at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in celebration of a stellar performance that saw him steer Kenya to retaining the Marathon World Cup.
So I was disciplined enough all the way in my training. And people used to call me Mr. Perfectionist because I knew I have to bring the flag. I have to raise the flag of Kenya. The national anthem of Kenya must be sung on a given date. And that is the discipline of high class.
Look at the distance he's put between himself and those pursuing now. It could quite literally be something like half a mile that he's in front now. That's just fabulous performance.
Yeah,
fabulous performance.
Absolutely incredible.
We have the history, like when I want to tell you the history of my great-grandfather, he could chase an antelope and catch his life, and not once, several times. And when our grandfather told us about the story of his dad, and we were like, okay.
The world champion, Kirui, here on the right, as we look at them on the screen.
I can remember when we were running as young children, young kids of under 10 years, and we were running across the village. We used to call it cross country. So one time I was not number 1, number 2, like I was number 3, 4, and I finished crying, and I was saying, why? And they were jeering at me. And when I went to school now, we were running, going in the morning for lunch, like 4 kilometers away, and coming back for lunch time. When lunch delays, you have to run back to school so that you don't be caned. So that is how I developed running and running most of the time. And that is why it fills me. Until when I was in class 6, something like grade 6, 7 there, is when I ran, and teachers was amazingly seeing how I was running. I was still young, and my lungs could make me run 28 laps in the track. It was like my school track here. And they say it is a little bit shorter. So instead of 24, I was doing 28. If I was not an athlete, the world could have not known who is Abel Kirui. If I could be an average person, maybe a teacher, a doctor, I wanted to be a doctor.
He's going to win today's Bank of America Chicago Marathon 2016, the 39th edition of the race.
I could be teaching somewhere in a village or in a town. Nobody could know Abel Kirui. But God designed in his own way that he gave me the talent. I explored my talent, and the talent went into the world, and that is why it has come with some fruits in it.
Check on it, Kirui gets the silver. Yeah.
So first did this sport, and then combined it with discipline and hard work. That is what makes a talent. I think the most important which people and the world knows about Abel Kirui is to be a double world champion.
Today, one of the great marathons, he takes gold for Kenya.
That was one of the greatest major championship performances you will ever...
I cannot sell this one now because I have to give it the remembrance of first and second gold in World Championship. Okay. The World Championship race. No, people now believe for it that they won't even 1 million. Yeah. I know people when they want, they don't care the fun.
That was one of the greatest major championship performances you will ever see, as he does the dance of delight on the finish line. A very, very special moment for a very special performance.
So, having won Berlin 209, this is my past gold medal. And then the second in Daeku, which I ran amazingly, way I had almost 3 minutes ahead of number 2. And then I went to confirm to try Olympic, and I became number 2, slightly missing gold, 2012.
Totally dominant Abel Kirui. A winning margin we have never seen before in World Championship history.
And having run now 22 times, the only human in history below 10, it is such an amazing thing. I happen to be found in a family of a single lady. And then at times my mom had nothing in the home for meal in the lunch time. She could make a lamb porridge. Imagine when I came home and I was very annoyed, why you never go to the job or go to school in order to make our life better, and I was shedding tears. Anyway, my mom was not around because he knew I was quarreling about this life because for me, it was so painful. Trying to sip the porridge like this, the tears was going into the porridge, and then I sipped the second one and it was tasting salty, and I say, so now this is the thing. And for me, that was the hardest moment of life.
Kirui has been out of competition for the last 2 years due to injury, but has announced his readiness for the race set for early Sunday morning.
I was ready to run under 2 hours or next to 2 hours. I had the biggest preparation, but I instantly got a clavicular fracture near the tibia. It was one of the disappointments of my life. So I lost the London Marathon with a biggest appearance of my life. I can imagine it was $250,000. I lost it that way when 2 months remains to London Marathon 2030. So I could say God is the purpose, because then after that, I came back. I went winning Chicago 2016, second 2017, and also 2018 also I did well.
He's running his own race, and he's run it quite magnificently, and he is the marathon champion, Abel Kirui.
Going to win today's Bank of America Chicago Marathon 2016, the 39th edition of the race, and only 2 or 3 seconds separate these two magnificent athletes.
You need to be ready. You need to be ready, because the roads are not always smooth.
This is terrible now. And
you can run out of trouble. You strategize to run out of trouble. That is it. So try to run out of trouble by trying to overcome the law of gravity. When I tell these young guys who are like, if there is problem, no need to go with stones to the road. It cannot help. The stones is to try to make the best solution, which is saving your life. So the only thing is to be consistent in overcoming the challenge. I can imagining one day the whole world will be smiling of a better life. That there will be no one left behind crying, and then one is having more than enough. That is the value. My life purpose. I want to end my life actually serving God with all my energy, with all my heart, and with all my mind. As a school, which we are proud as a city of champions, Great Joy will demonstrate that one practically going forward. You see, I have the school Great Joy, where we build children morally, spiritually, and those are the purpose of me being in this world, whereby somebody who can see practical what I am doing and put in himself and become that. The future is actually confusing, but the future needs only to have the radar towards where you know. If I had no faith, I could have lost it after the injury of 2013, that I have no faith to come back, and I could not have made to this very good place. So, the faith in marathon can as well help me in spiritual matters. That the faith I had in running and overcoming, it's the same faith I will apply to conquer the problems and the storms of the world. Faith actually is a key in driving towards the target. And having faith that I can conquer will drive you to conquer. I wish people firstly to forgive me if I have ever hurt anyone in life. Maybe I have judged wrongly, maybe I have maybe watched wrongly, or I have stepped wrongly. That is the first thing. I will have requested for anybody to forgive me.